need one player who can be explosive with unusual energy on the pitch.
Yeah, true.
You need one, at least one. You may not have all the characters, but you need at least one.
Yeah.
Look at the Barcelona team. Lamine Yamal at the age of 17 is one of them. He carries the ball easily, like he's a prime Ronaldinho. Another player is Frankie de Jong and how he controls the midfield. He doesn't care whether there are 4 players. He has that authority to wiggle through that sort of pressure and make an impact. Rafinha is one of those. Some, do I say, they call it, is it disrespectful something? They have a way of, he has that belief in himself that, come on, I can just do it. Look at the Arsenal team. How many players do you see? Aside Bukayo Saka, who has that? How many of them? And maybe Miles Lewis Kelly, who is a younger chap, and he tries to, take risk. How many of the other players do you see take risk?
Very safe, very risk-averse players.
Manchester United beat Olympique Lyonnais because they had a Bruno Fernandes who was willing to edge the team on and carry the team on his shoulders. He pushed the team because he knew, come on, this game is a game we can easily just get past people. Look at the Inter team. Denzel Dumfries, Moritz, and he doesn't think about leaving his position. We can work it. We can get it done. DiMarco plays, and you are like Lautaro Martinez. Even Marcos Thuram, he picks the ball. Look at the ball that he went to dribble the goalkeeper. On any day, any player would have hit it, fast, even though he was offside. Look at the Arsenal team, and you don't have players like that. And it clearly gives you an indication that
so there's a character problem.
Exactly. Mikel Arteta over 5 years has failed. When he came, fine. The thing that got him to stay was winning the FA Cup. But at that time, he had players who had that confidence. They had that experience. Alexandre Lacazette, Aubameyang, Sead Kolasinac. He had men. Even Emi Martinez, who has some absurd confidence. David Raya is very good. But is he a goalkeeper that, if you are facing, would you be afraid of him?
Nah.
He doesn't carry that sort of aura that will scare, people, like other goalkeepers have. But all these players were allowed to go. Now look at these players that Arteta allowed to go and what they are doing in other clubs. Sead Kolasinac, Arteta said he didn't want. Went on with Atalanta.
Yeah.
And what did he win?
He won the Europa League.
Thank you. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang went to Barcelona and won the La Liga in 2022. Look at Alexandre Lacazette. He went to France and he was all of a sudden banging in the goals easily as you can think
led
of.
Lyon to a semi-final.
Exactly.
No, a quarter-final. Quarter-final in the Europa League.
Now you come back and you look at some of the other players that you find in other teams, and they are playing so well. Emi Martinez at Aston Villa.
Yeah, do we?
He's great. He's doing so well. But look at Arsenal's team now and ask yourself the players that he decided to send away. He fought with Mesut Ozil and got rid of him. Is he having a player who is cutting the shape and mold of Ozil to work that magic? No. Ozil in big games, in as much as we normally complain, if it was Ozil in this PSG game that he had those free spaces Odegaard had,
he's assisting strikers.
Exactly, the creativity would have been on a high. And that clearly tells you Arteta has failed as a manager, has failed as a coach of Arsenal. That many other coaches have not had that sort of investment, but they are creating and building solid squads. Look at the Napoli squad. Look at the Atalanta squad. Look at even PSG and Enrique. He told them, get rid of all these players. I don't need them. Messi should go, Neymar should go, Mbappe should go, allow Sergio Ramos. Let them go. I will build. Look at the Ecuadorian, Pacho. Look at Nuno Mendes. Look at Desiree Doué. Fabian Ruiz from Napoli coming. Yeah. Yes, even though at the Euros he gave us glimpses of what he's capable of. Not many people mention his name, but he does his work diligently. I thought last
night's game was Ruiz's game. I think when it's all settled, his quality showed.
Exactly.
Right? Because I thought Vitinha and Neves were involved in the physical battle so much.
Yes.
When it settled, everything PSG did went through Fabian Ruiz last night. And it was a very, very good midfield.
Exactly. He decided to take the game by himself and then play it for PSG. and Arsenal just struggled. And I always say that going forward, if many people are blamed, unless Arteta, Edu Gaspar left, Vinay left the club,
Yeah.
and Arteta was stayed. He assumed more power. If Arne Slot comes from the Netherlands without any significant purchase, and he's not even sporting director, he's not a manager, he's a coach, head coach at Liverpool, and he manages to get the best out of Gravenberch and the other players surrounding the Liverpool team and gets results. You can't tell me you had about 6 of your regular players getting injured in the season.
But Kelvin, that should count for something. It was regulars.
No, listen. It will count. It will count. If the regulars get injured, I ask you a question. Have you built a solid team that if Gabriel is not there, you have someone to...
That's also a valid question. So the two can exist.
You buy left backs, as many left backs as you can, but you end up playing a central midfielder in Miles Lewis Kelly at left back position. Even when you shoot, you need that.
Lewis Kelly is a central.
He's a central midfielder by trade.
I see. No wonder.
It's the reason why.
No wonder he looks very comfortable.
Exactly. It's the reason why he plays as the inverted left back. Calafiori doesn't even have that quality. But that is what Arteta you want. You have Tierney. Look. I think some useless purchases and the recruitment has been terrible. Maybe going forward, he can get the best and then make very good purchases going into the summer, because he seems to be complaining that
is he running out of time?
He's run out of time, because next year, if Saliba does not win anything with Arsenal, he's going to Real Madrid, because his contract ends in 2027. So for Arsenal to at least get some money, he will just decide to leave. Deeper within Arsenal, it is assumed that Saliba told them or asked questions. Why is it that January you did not buy a striker? Because he thinks that the team does all they can defensively, but in attack they are short of numbers, and especially when Bukayo Saka had gotten injured. Why don't we add a number, at least one potent attacker, and leave Kai Havertz to come and do his midfield duties with the CAM duties?
I would say the Kai Havertz purchase is one that still beats my mind.
It's yes,
65 million pounds.
Exactly. So I think that Arteta himself has failed. And if you are building a team, if you are building a squad, if the squad isn't a squad that can compete at all levels, even with 1 or 2 injuries, then it is useless. In attack, many are complaining, Arsenal, yes, Kai Havertz got injured, Gabriel Jesus got injured. PSG can afford to play. They played without Gonçalo Ramos and Dembele.
They had Due and Desiree, players they groomed.
If Fabian Ruiz or Vitinha or how do you call it, Neves are missing, and you are bringing Warren Zaïre-Emery, you have extreme confidence he can do the work for you. You get it. Even defense, if Pacho is unavailable, there is Beraldo. There is even Presnel Kimpembe who is injured. Enrique is not talking about his deficiencies that he has.
But he's getting the work done.
So Arteta should just give credit where it's due and identify his faults, that he has failed as a coach of Arsenal over 5 years, not being able to build a solid team and a solid squad. Okay, rejected Mkhitaryan and the rest. Look at Mkhitaryan at Inter, and it tells me that
in Italy they have special magic to
very good. You may have special
rebuild players who are over 35.
You may have special magic to build teams, but you should understand that when it gets to you stayed 5 years, you still cannot find a perfect model for Arsenal to play. Every season it changes. This season is attacking. The next season is defensive. The next season is built on midfield. The next season is built on set pieces. Arsenal were overly reliant on set pieces, and I asked myself, which player were they expecting to beat Pacho and Marquinhos aerially? And when you are a coach and you employ a tactic for over 20, 45 minutes and getting into 60 minutes, if you have a set piece, what do? Don't you try to play a pass and change it? But Nicolas Jova will come and stay on the touchline as if he's a Giuseppe Dosena telling Isika Akona how to kick a free kick to score. useless coach. You said a set piece coach, you are scoring, but Arsenal's most,
they're also conceding. Exactly. And I was telling Raymond that
exactly. So what is the job of the set piece coach? If you are, it's more like you rob what Peter to pay Paul. It doesn't make any sense.
Nathan, you see, I will not allow Arsenal fans to come and sit on this show this morning.
What are you saying?
And throw Mikel Arteta under the bus. Look,
Ray,
this
ultimate responsibility.
No, wait, Nathan,
right.
Nathan, take your time. All of a sudden, Mikel Arteta is not a good coach. All of a sudden, Jova is not a good set-piece coach.
He hasn't said that.
Nathan, wait. All of a sudden, Arsenal have very good players. Mikel Arteta sent them away. They've gone away and they are doing wonders.
But Ray, that's something Kelvin has consistently said.
No, Nathan, wait. No.
So are you addressing? No, relax. I'm saying it. Let's put things into context.
No.
Kelvin has consistently made the same arguments, win or lose. He has said that he thinks Arteta has not handled this team well.
Win.
Problem.
Kelvin has not thrown Mikel Arteta under the bus the way he has done this morning.
Are you sure?
He's always done it.
Hey, Raymond, are you sure?
He's always.
Are you sure?
Nathan, wait. Let me finish. You see, this collapsing that you are talking about.
Yeah. No, we want to clear the air. I have never said that. Clear the air. Where? Which instance? Clear the air. Let's clear the air. Be fair to me. I am only saying he has failed. I'm not saying he's good.
When
good managers fail.
When Mikel Arteta beat PSV, when Mikel Arteta beat Real Madrid,
yes,
Kelvin sat on this show.
And what did he say?
And praised the coach for how he managed the team, how he got the team to gel.
Yeah, so
how he got the team to perform.
All right.
He praised
Raymond. Who is responsible?
Assignment.
Who is responsible for the credit and then the failure?
Today,
who should be responsible?
No,
I'm asking you
today.
But who do you blame? Who do you blame for the failure? Who do you blame for a failure of a team to win a game?
Wait. Today, Mikel Arteta, who Kelvin was waxing lyrical about, post the Real Madrid game.
You are looking as I want to laugh all morning.
Suddenly, has become the Jonah in the Arsenal boat.
I said he has failed.
Oh, take your time.
No, listen. Listen.
No, you see, and I'm
good, being good and failure. Not being good. Not being
I allow
good.
you to continue.
Not being good and being a failure is different.
Nathan,
you know that.
This is semantic.
Carlo Ancelotti has failed Real Madrid this season. It doesn't mean he's not good. That's all I'm saying.
Nathan,
you finish.
You see, when Kelvin tells me on the show, that look at Mkhitaryan, look at Lacazette, look at Kolasinac, look at Aubameyang. Look, these were players the coach assessed and said he did not need. The same way today you are praising Luis Enrique for saying, oh, let Mbappe go, let Neymar go, let Messi go, I'll build a team. That's the same decision Mikel Arteta took at Arsenal.
Okay.
Now, no, wait, let me finish. If it pays off, fine, fair enough. When Pep Guardiola came to Man City,
yes,
he jettisoned a lot of players.
Yes.
Kolo Toure and co. But he decided to bring in players he felt were going to do a job for him.
Yes.
The players indeed have been doing the job. Look, Mikel Arteta. You can say all you want about Mikel Arteta, but this season, he's been one of the unfortunate coaches with injuries. Look, Gabriel Jesus got injured. Kai Havertz got injured. Saka for most part of the season was injured.
Saka was out for a bit. Was out for
most part of the season. You know, at the crucial moment when Arsenal needed to mount that title chase, Saka was out of the team, injured. And then there was this other striker. I mean, he's had issues with injuries and he's been unfortunate. Okay, so if a coach has these limitations, and because of that, his team is not able to challenge. Last season, we saw Arsenal challenge in the English Premier League title race. We saw them push it. We saw them go all the way.
But they just found a far more superior opponent.
He had a good team. Okay. So I think that Arsenal fans should be fair to Mikel Arteta and accept the fact that there were certain things that happened in the course of the season that were beyond his control. Look, you cannot tell me today that if Mikel Arteta has purchased Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz and all those strikers, he should go and add another high-profile striker. For that high-profile striker to be sitting on the bench, to be backup, to play as backup. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. Manchester City, if Haaland is injured, they try to find a way around it. They try to find a way to play to win.
Okay.
Based on the quality of strikers he has at his disposal. You cannot tell me that Man City will go and buy 2 top strikers in the world, anticipating that one will get injured and the other will fail in. You always have players who may not be at the same level as the main man play as deputy. It happens everywhere. And really, Trossard was expected to be an able deputy. He failed. That wouldn't be the coach's fault.
Trossard isn't a deputy for a striker. Trossard is a deputy for Gabriel Martinelli.
You see?
And you were talking about Manchester City. Pep Guardiola buying Erling Haaland. Pep had Aguero. He got him off.
Yeah.
He brought on Jesus and the likes. He got Jesus off because he was not giving him the returns he wanted. And brought in Haaland.
Jesus wanted more playing time.
But you think if Jesus...
But have two sides.
Exactly. If Jesus was giving him numbers or he was a top marksman, who Pep trusted he was going to give him numbers, he would have allowed him to go. No. He would have convinced him, gentlemen, you are my project. You are going to lead my team. You are going to play. And we know Pep Guardiola, how he told Bernardo Silva and the likes to stay because he was going to work with them. Now, if Arsenal buys Gabriel Jesus 1-2 seasons, he's failing to score even 10 goals as a centre forward. And you are telling me that as a coach who wants to win trophies, you won't go and buy. No, and that is my concern. Even as a Wenger who was so concerned with midfielders and midfield play and creativity, at least in every season he had 3 notable strikers with 2. He had Olivier Giroud, he had Aubameyang, he had Edin Nketiah, even Danny Welbeck. Look at that, Danny Welbeck before Nketiah. Now look at Arsenal. After Gabriel Jesus, who is Arsenal striker?
Nathan.
No, after Gabriel Jesus, who is Arsenal striker? Kai Havertz is a midfielder bought to replace Granit Xhaka.
Nathan.
And he's only been put there, he was only put there as a matter of, contingency. And you come into the next season, you don't buy a centre forward,
Nathan.
and you still want to achieve success with a Gabriel Jesus who has been injury prone and not even giving you returns.
Nathan.
And you come and tell me that Arteta has a striker and you cannot buy. Is Gabriel Jesus a high profile striker?
Nathan.
Is he in the league of Oli Watkins?
Nathan, wait.
No, not even in the league of Oli Watkins. Is he in the league of Ishak?
Nathan.
No.
Nathan, Gabriel Jesus played 6 seasons at Manchester City.
How many goals? Tell us.
Consistently in the Premier League every season.
He gave how many goals?
Gabriel Jesus goal contributions to that Man City team. He did 10 and above.
Wow, look.
Every time.
Consistently. And wait.
Every time.
What was his highest?
Nathan, wait.
Give us. What was his highest?
3 seasons prior to joining Arsenal.
What was his highest?
3 seasons prior to joining Arsenal.
What was his highest?
Gabriel Jesus in the Premier League managed at least 13 goal contributions.
Why?
In terms of goals and assists.
Why?
No, wait.
I
want to understand.
Listen,
wait. I said at least.
Ray.
And that was what motivated Mikel Arteta to go and sign
I get it. I don't want the assists. I just want goals.
Oh, goals. In terms of goals, 3 seasons prior to joining Arsenal.
Yes.
He scored 14 goals. He scored 9 goals and scored 8 goals.
14,
9, 8. 14, 9, 8. So the season prior to joining Arsenal, he scored 8.
So
in the Premier League.
14, 9, 8.
In the Premier League.
31.
He's always
in the
declining.
Premier League. In the Premier League.
No, it's the Premier League.
When he joined Arsenal.
The Premier League.
No, Nathan. Now when he joined
31,
Arsenal.
relax. 31 in
Now when he joined Arsenal, in his first season, he managed 17 goal contributions for them in the Premier League.
I want
he scored 11. Oh, he scored 11.
Yes, it's the goals I want because that's what suits the argument.
In his first season, he scored 11.
11 league goals. No problem.
Then
in the second
season, injuries and all.
Why?
Injuries and all. 9 goal contributions.
No, I want goals. I don't want the
4 goals, 5 assists.
No problem. 11 to 4. No problem. Let's go to
then
the
last season. This season.
This one. Yes.
He's managed only
3
17
goals.
appearances in the
How many
league.
goals?
And managed 3 goals.
3 league goals.
Because of injuries. He's been in and out of the team.
Okay.
But I'm saying that
Ray, let me ask you a
Arteta,
question. Ray, let me ask you a
no,
question.
Nathan, take your time. Mikel Arteta, having worked at Arsenal, knowing the quality of Gabriel Jesus, saw something in the boy and felt that, look, based on the kind of philosophy I want to play at Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus would fit. He brought him in.
Yes. But there's a huge asterisk because over the years you have noticed there is a pattern. The player rarely gives you 35 games a season. He's getting injured. I think the wisest thing any manager would do is that you look at this player and say, okay, look, let's say on the average, if you can give me 10 goals, the standard to push your team towards a league title is to have your striker score 18 and above. Let's say 15 and above. Now, this chap in question has been scoring on the average 10 goals a season, let's say on the average, it means that somebody has to fill up the other.
So he went into the transfer market again and brought in Kai Havertz.
Now
I told you Kai Havertz was a replacement for Granit Xhaka.
Take your time.
No problem.
Isn't Kai a replacement for Granit Xhaka?
They don't play in the same roles.
Who said they don't play the same role?
They don't play in similar roles.
He's a CAM.
No.
A left-sided CAM.
Granit Xhaka
is a left-sided CAM.
Before he left, spent most of his time playing in the center of midfield. As more of a holding midfield.
More of who? Look, Banter was the holding midfielder for Arsenal.
Take your time.
Raymond, maybe you don't know the profile of Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka was a proper number 8 in Germany before joining Arsenal.
In terms of his goal contributions, will you compare his goal contributions everywhere he's played to that of Kai Havertz?
Who?
Kai Havertz was playing for Leverkusen. His goal returns.
Kai Havertz did he not
to Chelsea? His goal returns.
He's a proper CAM.
And when he came to Arsenal, he started playing close to goal in his first season in the Premier League. He had 20 goal contributions, 13 goals, 7 assists.
I want the goals.
No, don't worry.
These numbers are not even close to the auxiliary striker for Inter Milan, Marcus Thuram.
What are you saying? Granit Xhaka.
And that is why if you're a side and you want to win trophies, you don't keep these players in your team.
Why are you talking as if
Real Madrid? Look at Real Madrid for all the quality that they have.
No,
they still went to look for Kylian Mbappe.
No,
fine, they failed this season, all right. But look at the other teams. How many goals has Lewandowski? How many goals has Rafinha? How many goals has Yamal? How many goals has Ferran Torres?
Nathan.
Go to this PSG team. How many goals has Desiree Doué? How many goals Kvaratskhelia has? How many goals Bakola? How many goals the main attacker Ousmane Dembele?
Nathan,
you get it? And these are my concerns. If your striker is not even matching the numbers of Jonathan David,
Nathan.
You see, Nathan, if your striker is not matching the numbers of Jonathan David, and you want to tell me that he's okay when your central attacking midfielders are not even scoring, Nathan. How many goals are the returns of Odegaard?
Nathan.
If you have CAMs,
you finish.
If you have CAMs who are scoring, that is when you can say, "Oh, striker, I should forget about my." But you're not having a CAM who is scoring.
This Thuram Kelvin is talking about. Since his days at Borussia Mönchengladbach, or we can even go to Guingamp and bring it in. He's not scored past 13 goals.
Okay,
but in his previous campaign.
Do you understand Kelvin's point?
What I'm
Kelvin's
saying, because the players is mentioning, that they support, they bringing goals and all. Those are the same kind of players Arsenal got. Okay, Arsenal do not have a Haaland, but they have players who can give you 12, 13. 14,
and
12, and 11, and those are the players they got.
I'm coming.
And that is why I'm saying. So if you have the money, if you have a manager assembling all these players who cannot give, one person cannot give him more than 20 goals, it tells me he has no vision for the club.
Liverpool. Liverpool.
Yes.
Liverpool.
Do you want? Let's go. Let's go into Liverpool.
Mohamed Salah.
Has what 20 something goals.
It's not a striker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The main strikers in that Liverpool team,
do they even have one?
Oh yeah,
Darwin Núñez.
There's Jota, there's Núñez, there's you could even put Gakpo, you can put all of them there.
Diaz.
When Salah is scoring his 20 plus goals, you do not get a certain Jota also scoring 20.
Diaz is giving 12.
Okay, he would give you.
Diaz is giving 12.
And this,
but who in the
12 and co, you get from
because they are subordinate strikers.
In the Liverpool team, who can give you 20?
Nathan, in this Liverpool team, in the
Arsenal team, who can give
you 20?
The man they've consistently relied on.
Who can give you 20
after season?
Who can give you 20?
And the man they've relied on in terms of giving them good numbers in the league has been Bukayo Saka.
Okay.
So Bukayo Saka has been their Mohamed Salah in quote.
Okay.
So when Saka has stayed fit, you would expect him to score goals for you. And without
he ever hit
last season,
20?
No, wait. Last season, he was their best player.
How many league goals?
He scored 16 goals.
16 league goals.
The season before, he scored 14. The season before that season, he scored 11. So he was on the rise. But for injuries this season, if Saka had stayed fit, looking at how he started the season, Saka would have been in on possibly high numbers.
Do you think? Let's assume Saka scored 18.
Every coach would look at his team. Who is my main man? Saka. What do I need? Possibly a Havertz, possibly a Jesus, possibly, a Martinelli, who would come in and support with the numbers. And that is what Arteta has done.
Okay, and Ray, these other players who are supporting, have they supported well?
But for injuries.
What is bad for injuries?
Okay, Ray,
but
let me
for
ask you a
injuries.
question.
Otherwise, Kai Havertz started the season very well. He started very well. Even before injury, he has scored 9 goals in the Premier League.
So
even before injury, he has scored 4 goals in the Champions League.
Problem. So are you saying that?
Then Gabriel Jesus. No, Nathan, you see, let's
No, I want to understand.
Then Gabriel Jesus. Prior to his injuries, we all know he struggled with injuries this season.
So for him, do you agree that somebody like him, Arsenal will need a contingency for him? Or
Raymond shouldn't come and lie to us.
Yes.
Kai Havertz had 2 goals before he got injured.
Oh,
2.
Oh, 2 goals were
2 in the Premier League.
Oh, how?
2.
Oh, how will you?
Check well. 2.
Why will you do this to my good friend?
2. He had 2.
He had 2.
Don't come and give us 9. No Arsenal striker at that time will give you 9 goals.
Nathan,
in this current Arsenal
Kai
setup.
Havertz this season, prior to getting injured,
He said Premier League he had 9, Champions League he had 4.
20, how do you call him? In 21 matches,
Yes.
he scored 9 goals for Arsenal.
Okay,
before getting injured.
9.
Yes.
Is it 9?
And the Champions League he had 9.
He has 4 goals.
4, 13.
So is
Yes,
it 9
4
across
goals.
13.
competitions? Or
13.
9 in the league?
13.
9 in the league.
So if he gives you 13 goals, you think he's a player that Arsenal should rely on?
Why not?
Ray, let me ask you a question.
If you have others like Saka also playing their role, why not? And that is how the coach likes to play.
Okay, Ray. So
Odegaard.
yes.
Today, Arsenal fans cannot tell me Odegaard is a bad player. Arsenal fans cannot tell me suddenly Odegaard is not the man. Look, go and look at his numbers.
Which numbers?
His numbers in the Premier League and in the Champions League.
Okay, so how many goals has he scored in the Premier League?
Last season.
No, this season.
No, this season in the Premier League,
Yes.
he's managed 2 goals.
How many
and
assists?
And 7 assists in the Premier League.
Okay.
In the
Now,
Champions League,
his compatriot,
it's been 3 goals
I'm coming.
and
his,
1 assist.
His counterpart,
Yes.
somebody who plays in his position, a direct comparison,
Yes.
is Man United's Bruno Fernandes. How many league goals does Bruno
No,
Fernandes
Nathan,
have?
take your time. Odegaard this season has struggled with injuries.
No problem.
Fact. The season prior to this season,
When he was fit, how many did he?
when he was
how
fit
many league goals
and
did he
got
give
Arsenal
us
going, he scored 8 goals, managed 10 assists.
in the league?
Yes. The season prior to that, he managed 15 goals and 7 assists.
In the
That was
league.
Odegaard. So Odegaard
in the league.
had been that
Is it
man.
in the league?
Yeah, in the league. Even in the Champions League. His numbers were not that impressive. But Odegaard remained that key cog in that Arsenal central attacking midfield. He kept things ticking for them. And he consistently did the job. Players have seasons where injuries come in and then they do not get the same numbers again. All of a sudden, I cannot now sit down here and criticize Odegaard and say Odegaard is not that man. Because he's done the job in time past. But for injuries this season.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying, that Arteta
question.
has been unfortunate to have to deal with so many injuries.
Okay, so
today,
let me ask you this. Assuming Arteta has a season where players are all fit, and yet by the end of the season, when we do the mathematics and players are scoring 5, 8, 7.
It's not happened before.
I'm coming. So so you are saying that when the players are
fit, they deliver.
Okay, but when Arsenal's players have been fit,
yes,
they have not won the Champions League, neither the Premier League.
Rightly so. And we've put a lot of that down to mentality issues.
Okay,
and that's how it's been, especially looking at last season, how they failed to win against Aston Villa and lost the league. We put a lot of that down to mental fortitude. Not because the players were not good enough.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How much time does Arteta should he be giving more time?
More money to go into the transfer market.
And buy who exactly?
And buy players.
Okay, let me put the question this way. Does this Arsenal team lack anything?
A centre forward.
Okay. So at least on that score, you agree with
Kelvin? I agree. No, even yesterday, I said, look, it's a strikerless team. But for a coach like Arteta, who has other weapons in his team and knows how to deploy them, of course he would find a way to win. And that's why when they shipped PSV 7, they were excited. They said, we don't need a striker. When they beat Real Madrid with those Declan Rice free kicks, they said, we don't need a striker. Arteta has found
I've
a way
heard a
to
lot
win.
of Arsenal fans who did not. A lot of Arsenal fans said
Arteta has found a way to win, regardless of having that Didier Drogba kind of striker.
But it still doesn't
or
mean that they don't
Olivier
need
Giroud
one.
kind of striker.
But what has he achieved?
Or that's
What has he
kind of
achieved that you think that he doesn't need those, right? What has he achieved?
But
No, what has he achieved?
He's found-
No, I asked you a simple question. What has he achieved?
he's found a way to
No. What has he achieved?
Win what?
Win what?
win games.
Oh,
And what have those
and did he
games
win
led-
championships?
Didn't he win?
Did he win
No,
trophies?
didn't he win a game?
Did he
without
win-
a striker and got to the semi-finals of the
No,
Champions League?
and
so did
and
he-
to what end? To what end? To what end?
They met a better team and a better team stopped them.
Come on, so you see, you can have a better team, an upgrade of your team with that striker, and you beat teams and get to the final and lift the trophy.
Nathan.
That is all what we are saying.
Manchester City.
Nobody is saying he's bad,
Manchester City.
but his inefficiencies at certain points in time in his 5-year reign has cost Arsenal so much that he needs to actually check it and make those corrections.
Those corrections you'd make. But
You cannot tell me Simeone Inzaghi is using these players to achieve what he has done in 3 years. Luis Enrique gets to this team in less than 3 years and he's achieved what he has achieved. And you're telling me we should praise Arteta. Gasperini he virtually decides to do away with about 7 of his spine and builds a team with Ademola Lookman and the rest who Arteta will reject and win the Europa League. Look at what Chelsea is doing under Enzo Maresca. Even though we still complain about them, they've injected money into the team.
Okay.
Look at if Arteta was playing against Athletic Bilbao, trust me, Athletic Bilbao will eliminate Arteta.
Nathan, all these coaches you mentioned.
He's a perennial failure,
Nathan, all these
and he's
coaches-
failing to realize that as a coach, there is one thing that I need. I need a marquee man. Look at all the teams who win. There is
They always
no
have that
there is
one
no
player.
team.
There's always
When Pep Guardiola made himself Ogboro, yes, winning the dominating England, he went to Europe, he got to the Champions League final, and then he decided to sit his main striker on the bench. He lost. The following season, he got Erling Haaland. Did he bench him?
No.
Nathan, let me ask a question. This season,
You finish
This
because
season-
we have to take some
No,
more
Nathan,
reaction,
this
take
season-
calls, and then
this season.
do other.
Pep Guardiola and his brilliance, what affected his team and what got him to lose
Rodri
matches
got
consistently?
injured.
Rodri and who? Latter part of the season.
Yeah.
Latter part.
Haaland,
Very good. It means that any team can have best players playing in certain positions, but when they get injured,
Yeah.
the effect could be felt.
Yes, but at least what he's
Arsenal
done is
have-
that
Arteta has had to
brought
deal with
in
it.
he's brought in Mamouche, he's brought in Savinho.
Yes.
Doku is getting minutes.
Yes, because
They brought in some other
because
Spanish
fortunately
guy,
for him, fortunately for him,
in the midfield.
Nathan,
So at least
fortunately
what
for
Pep is
Pep-
doing is that he's trying to refresh the team.
fortunately for Pep, he has the financial backing.
Arteta has
Arteta has had money to spend.
Arteta has
The money-
financial backing.
Nathan, the kind of money.
Let's not lie to ourselves. Arteta has financial backing.
Nathan, in January, could Arsenal have forked out 60 million pounds
I
to
think
buy Mamouche?
I think they could have. They just didn't want to.
They just didn't want to, and that is the truth.
I think it was a
Nathan,
lack of
that
willingness.
wasn't going to be possible.
They were
who said it wasn't
Arsenal were
going to
not
be
going to be
possible?
willing to spend on
You see,
Mamouche.
they won't do it because it's not because of the money. They will do their accounting and realize that, you know what, it will throw things out of gear.
Exactly.
Let's do that later. It doesn't mean
City
the
has
money
the
is not
financial backing to go into the market and bring you whatever they want.
It is
Every
because
situation is different.
it is because Pep Guardiola during the summer
He
last
didn't
year
spend his money.
exactly.
So the money was there.
Exactly. And Arteta decided to go and buy defenders. He bought a defender and he replaced goalkeepers when he actually needed a striker. And he sent central attacking players away and wingers away.
Defense
To go and bring-
defense wins you titles.
He should win the title with defense.
Attack win you games.
But won't the games lead to the titles?
Nathan, you can always find a way to get goals.
But Arsenal didn't get. They only got 1 over 2 legs.
Oh yes, because that's their level. PSG were a better
And they said
team.
they want to upgrade to
PSG were a better team.
Okay, you know what?
In terms of coaches, I don't know who Arsenal can bring in. All the coaches mentioned Gasperini, this one. Look, if those team coaches come to Arsenal, they'll fail.
They won't fail.
Why?
They won't fail.
We need to see Unai Emery go. We need to Unai
But
Emery.
Unai was not
They
given
do Unai
enough
Emery.
time, and there was,
Nathan, no,
there was
no,
a
no,
context to Unai's departure.
No. It's
So
performance.
It's performance. So it's Arteta performing.
Arteta's
So you
performance.
see, if Unai got Arsenal to the UEFA Europa League,
League final, yeah.
but struggled in the league in his first 2 seasons, and you get him sacked, Arteta wins FA Cup, finishes outside of of Champions League slots, even European slots.
How many? I think was it 2 seasons?
2 seasons.
And Arsenal fans have seen progress in the league.
Oh.
They've seen progress in the league.
So you see, Arteta was given
and
time,
Arteta.
but Unai wasn't given time.
Yeah.
Trust you me, if Unai and in the last couple of seasons, in the last 2 seasons, you look at the business and progression of teams that Arsenal and Aston Villa have had. When you look at the pedigree of Arsenal and Arteta's purchases and what Unai and then this guy Monchi have done at Aston Villa, it clearly gives you an indication that Arteta is retrogressing with Arsenal.
Nathan, how many Villa players will walk into this Arsenal starting lineup? How many?
I'll put Morgan Rogers in this team. I'll put Oli Watkins. I'll put Oli Watkins in.
This is SportyFM, the voice of sport.